welcome back. How much is a rewire? No. We got a few people ringing us up before we go and quote a job. We'll book in a quote on the phone call. They normally say to us, how much is a rewire? I don't know. Seriously, I ain't got a clue. Because it depends on so many different factors. Okay? It depends on if you're in the property or not. That's the biggest factor, actually. If you're going to be in the property or not. If you're not in the property, so you're on holiday or you're away for a fortnight, it could probably be 30% cheaper than if it's occupied. Okay? Straight away. Because we don't have to start so much. If you're on the property, we start at 9 o'clock in the morning, we have to be finished at 5. You have to live there. Now, we have to stop earlier to tidy up. We have to stop even earlier to connect everything back up. So if we're on the lights, we can probably only get half the lights done before we have to stop, connect them, so you've got functional lights for the evening. So straight away, 30% reduction if you're not going to be in the property. So book it around a holiday, book it around when you can stay away at family or friends for a fortnight. Not quite a fortnight. Typical properties probably take about a week, but just in case, it makes a big difference. I suppose I probably should have wrote some of these down to make it a bit easier, but for us, for our team, an average rewire, say a 3-bed semi-detached house or something like that, unoccupied, our team can probably get it done in about 4 or 5 days to a pretty average specification. Now, that's normally assuming you got an average spec, so you got like 3 sockets per bedroom, a light, a switch, a few extra sockets downstairs, a few outside lights, things like that. That's saying the carpets can come up easy enough, then go back down easy enough. We normally do a deep clean on all our properties. So yeah, it takes about 4 or 5 days. Probably costs about £4,000 to £4,500 with the current material prices at the moment. Now, there's going to be a massive amount of factors that affect this price. Okay, so we'll start with specification. Now, specification is what you want the rewire to look like. So, do you want USB sockets? Do you want chrome sockets? Do you want spotlights everywhere? Do you want outside sockets? Do you want outside lighting? Do you want big bespoke outside lighting throughout your garden? Do you want data points everywhere? Do you want an EV charger? Do you want a solar panel supply going in? And effectively next year we'll be doing solar as well. So do you want solar panels? Do you want some type of renewable energy source going in? Do you need, I don't know, certain supplies for your heating control system? Are you having underfloor heating? Are you having decorative lights? Are you providing the decorative lights? Are we getting the decorative lights? Are you having wall lights everywhere? Are you having dimmer switches everywhere? There's a number of factors to go into a rewire. Okay. Now each of them has a price associated with it. We normally, wait there actually, I've got one of these here. So when we quote a rewire, we take one of these with us. So this is just a internal company job spec sheet to quote off. Now on it, we basically run through the entire list, and we've got everything listed on it. So we've got things like data points, we've got electric showers, we've got electric cookers, we've got type of light bulbs. Do we need extractor fans for the bath? Do we need bathroom extractor fans? Do we have to drill the hole through the wall? Is it going on a roof tile? We've got all the different types of chrome. We've got, are you having 2-way switching for like 3-way switching, 4-way switching, all these things. And that gives us a very accurate price. Another factor to consider, is your property got old features? See, that's a big factor we found. If it's like a property from the 80s, they're kind of easy to rewire. If it's from the 1920s and you've got big chunky 150mm skirtings, you've got tiled floors, you've got mosaic floors, which we see in some properties, you've got high ceilings, you've got picture rails, you've got big cornice covings, they play a massive factor in your price. Hence why on this thing, I don't know if you can see this, so we will quote this entire sheet assuming you're not going to be in the property. If you are in the property, we get to the end and we will times the property by 1.3. That's normally what we find. So that's why we say it's normally a 30% reduction if the property is unoccupied at the time. If it's awkward, such as Victorian features, we normally have to times it by 30% again, just because it adds that much time to a property. because you have to be so cautious. Depending on we're already cautious as a team, you have to be so extra over the top cautious, because we don't want to be responsible for damaging cornice covings. They're about 70 years old, and good luck trying to get them repaired, because it's impossible. And we also don't want to be the reason that they have to get ripped out. But that's basically what we use. So yeah, you need to discuss the specification of the property. Depending on when this video goes live, we're working on a catalogue for rewires, kind of a do-it-yourself catalogue, which we'll send out just so you can pick and choose. But like I say, most other electricians that do a lot of rewires will have a sheet, and they will say on it what they do. So they'll be like, I know, £75 per double socket. So you're great, you're like, okay, well, one there, one there, one there, one there. Oh, that final one's over our budget. We'll minus £75 off the bill. It's very easy. Light switches are like £110 for a light switch and a central light of a room. So you're like, okay, 3 bedrooms, that's 3 times £110. It's quite easy. Data points are like 95, so you okay, 10 data points, 1 in each room. You know what the price is going to be. Okay, and that's pretty much the average cost. Like I say, a number of other factors to go into it will be plastering. So we have to have the property plastered. Like we can't do chases and turn on the power if there's still exposure to live parts. So basically, if you tuck your finger behind to a socket, we can't do that. Legally, we can't turn on the power. So we have to get the walls plastered. Now you can get them bonded, which is a cheap rough coat, which is a lot cheaper financially, and we can turn the power on. But we also offer service where you can get them skimmed. So they're a nicely finished wall, all you got to do is go and decorate. If you want to save on the bill, you could leave them just at that. If you want to save on the price, you can move all the furniture yourself. So we can tell you how the property needs to be prepped, ready for us to go in and work. Normally involves moving the furniture all into the centre of the room, putting dust sheets over them. So we can tell you how that goes. Marking out on the walls where you want everything going. Saves us time. We offer a deep clean service on all our rewires, which is included in the price really. At the end of it, we get professional cleans in, they clean the entire property, because the dust will, even with all our big equipment, the dust will get everywhere. So they'll deep clean it. If you don't want that service, then that's fine, you can bring the price down again. Rubbish clearance. We have to charge for rubbish clearance because there's so much rubbish that comes out of a rewire. If you want to save on the price, if you dispose of the rubbish, it's cheaper again. So these are all things to consider when you're having a rewire quoted. Best thing to do when your electrician comes out, just ask them for the breakdown. Some electricians don't like giving away all their prices. I personally don't see what the problem is, unless you've got morally you're not confident in your own price, so you're trying to hide it. There's no reason why you shouldn't tell people. So yeah, I would just say to them, says, look, can we have a breakdown of rubbish clearance? Do you do a deep clean service? What if we prep the property? What if we're not in the property? What if we are? What if we want all these extra specifications, i.e. all this chrome, all these additional sockets, all these additional features, stuff like that. Just so you know a little bit more about what the pricing is going to be like. And that's that. I mean, personally, we offer finance. Some customers actually love that. We had a customer a couple of months ago that had it was going to go for an average rewire, but they actually weighed up the pros and cons and they decided to go for a bigger rewire, higher specification, and chose to finance through with us, just because it was something they wanted. But that's basically it. That's a rewire. That's how much a rewire costs, really. The things that can affect a rewire. And that's it, pretty much. Yeah. So just keep them in mind as you're going through. Particularly, we find this easier. Before we did all these quoting sheets, we found it was easier to quote the rewire as a basic specification. So we walked through the whole property and we got the most basic specification for the property there was, such as 2 sockets, 1 light, 1 pendant, no chrome, no outside sockets, things like that. And then we provided a whole list of additional extras to the customer, so they could almost custom build their quote. So we quoted as a basic spec, we gave it to them. Then it was on an additional sheet, it'd be, if you want a chrome socket, it is this much extra. If you want a loft light, it is this much extra. And these are all things that we could just give to the customer, stuff we already had saved. And it just made it a lot more easier and convenient. But yeah, hope it's been helpful. If you've got any questions, drop them down below. We'll try and help out where we can. we'll probably do more videos on rewires actually over the next coming months, just because it's something we're apparently quite good at and we've learned a lot along the way. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, watch all these other videos that are popping up, and I'll see you on the next one. Catch you later.